All right.
Hey, everybody.
We be live. What's up? What's
Tony's in the
up?
house already.
Tony has done it again.
He tried to be first. Nice try.
Yeah. Nice try, suckers. Welcome, everybody, to Campfires and Catholes. Welcome to a special guest edition today. And we're going to talk about some things before we bring our guests in. But take it away, Brian.
Me already? Hey, Ross. What's up?
What's up, Ross?
So we got a couple of channel shout outs. You said you wanted to shout out.
I got one.
One? Okay, one. And you've got a couple pieces of new gear we'll show real quick.
Yeah.
And let you get into that. We'll show that stuff and then we'll pull our guest in.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Bring out the ribeyes.
First piece of gear that I'm going to talk about is something that my buddy Ross had this weekend that I just was fascinated with. He made stir fry in the woods, and that made me happy. So It is the Keith Titanium multifunctional cooker. It cooks rice and it serves also as a pot. So Ross, I got one, and on our next outing, I will be making stir fry. In fact, I'm going to bring the vegetables and actually fry them in oil over the fire. And so I'm going to do it upright. So that's one thing I got.
That was awesome, Ross. I seen that in that video and I was just like, yeah, leave it to Ross. He's always got the food. Yeah, dude, whatever you think you're going to bring, it's going to be awesome. Now, Ross is going to beat you every single time.
Well, I will not be outdone. So me and Ross, we're going to have words. So, hey, Willie.
Hey, Willie. Hi.
The other thing I got was these are Fossil. They're ultra lightweight bowl. I got a cup and a plate, and they fold flat. They fold flat in your pack, and that's what I like about it. I like my titanium plate, but I like the fact that this folds flat. And so you can also use this as a cutting board as long as you don't go crazy with it.
I've seen this for, I don't know, they've had them for a couple of years.
Oh, they've been out for a while, yeah.
I think when they first came out, he had a couple of them, and I've looked at them a couple of times, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't use a bowl or anything that much. But I mean, if you're gonna cook like Ross, bring out the China, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it upright. And right. The cup and the plate all together only weigh 4 ounces altogether.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, if you're doing overnighters like we do, and you're not going far,
it's just weekend stuff.
4 ounces.
So the other thing I want to do is I want to share a shout out to a channel who recently commented on the Outdoor Adventure Life, and I'm going to share that with you now. And go and give her a sub. Tell her Campfires and Catholes sent you. She's got 37 subscribers. Let's try to get her upwards of almost 50. She's just getting started, as you can see. She's not been doing it very long, and I think she's up in Canada. So 10 months ago was the longest one. But she just did a pretty cool Western Loop, I think it's called, that finishes her 58-kilometer solo backpacking adventure. So go tell them Campfires and Catholes sent you and give her a sub. Let's get her up to 50. Thus ends the portion.
I just recently seen her comment or something somewhere today.
It was on Outdoor Adventure Life.
Maybe that's where it came up. I was scrolling through somewhere and I seen that.
Yeah. She said something like,
to her channel, so
you need something from Canada here. That's what she said.
There we go. Yeah, come on. Yeah. That's why it's not like Hoosier this or that. Hoot.
Right. Hey, Hoot. How's that butt, Hoot? Oh, that didn't come out right.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. He fell.
Do we want to talk about the trip you guys had together this weekend?
No. It ain't like that.
All right. How did that trip go this weekend?
That trip this weekend, and we're going to talk to our guests about it as well. That trip was a lot of fun. That pond that we discovered is bigger than the other ones. It was relatively easy to get to, I would say. Some of the uphill to get to the pond when you're bushwhacking was a little sketchy because you had this layer of leaves and you had basically earth diarrhea under it. So that's why I fell.
Yeah, I've seen pictures, man, but yeah, good times.
Yeah. So I fell, Ross fell, Hoot fell, and I think me and Hoot fell 3 times. I think Ross fell once. Good times.
Wow.
So anyway, enough about us.
Right, because it isn't all about us.
Well, no, it's about our guest. And so what we're going to do now is, you know him, you love him, and we're going to introduce our guest. Tonight, we have the veteran of the woods, Mr. Trailmedic. What up?
The veteran.
He's up in his van, too.
Dad, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm in the van down by the river.
All right.
Not really. Our internet at home has crapped that out.
Uh-oh.
And so is his internet.
So I'm over at my buddy's Todd's.
Yeah.
Would it be a podcast of ours if somebody's internet didn't screw up?
Right.
There we go.
It's all good.
He'll come back. There he is. Welcome back. You're back.
Okay. Sorry about that. And look here. Come on over.
Oh, there he is. The star of the show.
The Obster.
The star.
Don't look at him directly in the eye, though.
There's Chris.
Hey, Opie.
He's like, no.
He's like, you see the look on his face?
It's just like when we camp with him. He's like, no, I'm not interested in anybody. He's just like,
take a nap.
Don't look at me. Don't even talk to me.
Right.
Well, Brian, it's all yours.
It's all me. I'm always the one that's got the questions.
You're questions guy.
Definitely. You think of anything, Chris? Help me out here because you have known Keith longer. You guys are both old. So, so backstory, you guys think I pick on Chris. Keith and I, we go back and forth quite a bit too. We have a lot of fun hiking and camping together. What else are you going to do when you're just sitting around a campfire but make fun of each other?
Pick on each other, right?
No, we get along great.
Especially when it's an easy mark.
Oh yeah, Chris is always. That's when it gets interesting too. When we gang up.
I tell my friends how to treat me. I show them the way.
Exactly. Sometimes we have to, Yeah. Anyways, so
I even get good comments about it, don't I, Chris?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So we'll get some of the topics going and just some generic questions to kind of get to know who you are. So name's Keith, YouTube channel, Trailmedic. What got you started? What made you think, I want to start a YouTube channel? Was it just to share your experiences, what you see in the woods with your friends, family, or you want to be famous like you are now? Was that the goal? Or
yeah, famous, right? To be perfectly honest, you got to give credit where credit's due, and I think Shug had something to do with it.
Really?
He's influenced a lot of our lives. I think whenever you interviewed me way back, Chris, you asked me about it, I was sitting at my shop in the middle of the winter, nothing to do, nobody coming in. And I ended up, well, what's this YouTube thing? I went on there, and there was Shug, of course. And it looked like he was having a lot of fun. So I had a video, a little camcorder, it pops out and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so I just started walking in the woods, and it actually made it more enjoyable for me. And it just kind of took off from there.
Have you ever gone back and tried to relive those memories through that video? I know I have. And do you get the same feelings, or is it more just nostalgia?
It's a lot of nostalgia, but it's kind of neat because you start seeing things that when you were there, you really didn't pick up on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of neat too.
Awesome. I always think it's neat. You look back now, you've got 268 videos uploaded over 9 years, and all those experiences you've got documented. Like you said, you can go back at any time and just scroll through. And I do that once in a while. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that trip, and watch it. And you've forgotten 3/4 of what you actually put in that trip, and it brings back other memories. And that's what I love about it. And that's what a lot of people I see that I talk to them like, why did you start a YouTube channel? Or what do you like about having a YouTube channel? Yeah. And it's a lot of the same things. So last year was a little over a year ago. You hit 1,000, and you just recently broke the 2,000 mark of subscribers.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
May 17th was my first. May 17th of last year was the first day that I was monetized.
Awesome.
So I had the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours, And I was on the phone to Chris, let's get this going. Come on, man. And he helped me. And May 17th is where it started. And so I've gotten over 1,000 subscribers this year. So
that's nice.
Thank you
that's
to
awesome.
all you guys out there. That's just incredible, And
I think it's a lot to do too. Like everything outdoors, you do, fishing, kayaking, hammock camping, in a tent, you do gear reviews,
Tundra van.
Yeah, you got your van build out. You're on your second van now. You've got your Tundra that you've been playing around with too. I mean, all those different. I mean, my wife asked me how many different ways do I really need to sleep outside. Which one am I missing? I don't know. So it's such a broad range of things that you do.
He who dies with the most toys wins.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you alluded to it, you watching Shug and everything. If I remember correctly, you've met Shug.
Yeah.
Correct? And you had a pretty good story about that too. If you want to talk a little bit about that. I remember, I think it was one of the first times we met or we hiked together. You were kind of telling us about meeting Shug a long time ago. So how did that go?
It was at the Frozen Butt Hang. Okay. We were in northern Finland, Minnesota, third week of January. I was the most southern person at the hang from the furthest south. And I get up there. It was me and another guy named Brian Kessler. And he and I, we got everything set up for months to go to this. And we pull in and there is 5 foot of snow on the ground. Not 5 inches. I'm talking 5 foot of snow. You had to stay on the snowmobile trail or where someone had walked with a snowshoe, or you literally just went in. And it's different kind of snow up there. It's a powder. It literally, if you stepped off the trail, you just went in like talcum powder. I mean, it was amazing. And so we get in there and it's hovering around 4 or 5 below zero, pulled our polk in, and it was great. But Shug was exactly like he was on all of his videos.
Crazy.
An entertainer.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if he talked to me like he had known me for 50 years.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It's a gift to be that way. I mean, let's face it.
Sure.
But the interesting thing is when he's done, he's done. And he doesn't camp with everybody else. He goes off to his hammock and he kind of recharges. And the guys up there that have known him for a long time, it's kind of interesting. They protect him. They don't let new people like follow him or something. And we kind of, saw that with some of the other people that were there. And that little entourage of his, they stopped that real quick. So that was pretty cool. But the neat thing I think you're talking about is when we got ready to leave, it was kind of like, hey, man, can I get a picture? And he's like, well, hell yeah. And he reaches over and he grabs me, and takes his selfie. And so that was the Shug that I always remember.
Yeah. So will you guys do the same for me? Will you guys protect me from newcomers?
Absolutely not.
Because there's one in the chat.
I'll just say, hey, he's going over there.
Follow him.
I will. Sub to my channel, get me to 1,000 subs. I'll give out your address, your phone number, your social security.
Yeah, you've been over here now, so you can.
Right. I know exactly where you live. I know your phone number, your address, license plate number, whatever.
Well, I want to tell my Trailmedic story.
Yes, you definitely should.
Yeah. So 2 people I started when I first started backpacking, I wanted to find out about Indiana trails. One of them was David Gray and one of them was Keith. And I would watch videos on mostly the Deem because, I can't seem to go anywhere else, but mostly the Deem because, and Tecumseh Trail and stuff like that. And so I watched him for a while and the funniest thing, we were out at the Deem and we were at Frog Pond, right? I think that's where we were. It was at Frog Pond.
You talking about the first time or the second time?
Well, yeah. Where was the first time?
First time was on the Sycamore Trail.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you and I were walking by and we said,
and I called you Jason.
Yeah. And you said, aren't you Jason? I'm like, no.
But he strolls right by and I'm like, I freaking know that guy. I watch his videos. And so that was the first time we met. And then the second time we were out at Frog Pond and you guys must have been coming back from the Sycamore because you came up through the camp, and I'm like, what the heck is Trailmedic again? So we've been fast friends ever since, and we've gone on how many trips? We've shared many campfire, and so it's kind of neat. It's interesting because I just went hiking and backpacking with you this past weekend, and this next weekend I'm going overlanding with David Gray. So the two guys that I started watching, so you know, meet your heroes. It's fine, but that's my Trailmedic story.
That's it.
Yes.
So I had a question for you too. I was thinking of questions to ask you, and like I said, it's kind of, I always have trouble with this because most of the guests we've had on so far, I know personally too. Since like, I don't know, what do I ask you? So if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, because you were an EMT, correct? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was EMT or paramedic. I didn't want to insult you. Okay, paramedic. Okay, I knew there's a big difference there. So as a past paramedic, what does your first aid kit look like? What do you carry on the trail?
Oh, that's
very little.
Very little?
Because unless you can call 911 and I'm on duty.
Right. I was just thinking, like, what's some of the good stuff? Is like, I wonder what he carries as a paramedic. What,
I used to carry a big pack.
Yeah.
Almost like a trauma pack that I could do a little bit of everything. But the reality of it is, stop the bleeding, press the button on the, on the inReach and go from there.
Yeah.
But I was a paramedic. I retired completely from that a year ago. I was teaching paramedic science at the college, 39 years on the street, 29 full-time and about 9 years part-time. And, I thought, because being a paramedic, that's not a job. It's who you are. It's what you are, kind of like a fireman or a police officer. And I thought, I'm never going to, I can't exist if I'm not a paramedic. But you know what? It was really neat because I knew that I was done.
Yeah.
And I have so many interests. I just can't sit still. I got to stay off that couch,
I can vouch for that. You cannot sit still. We sit around the campfire and he's like, I got to get up and do something. And he's like,
that's just one of the things I've always struggled with is, I want to be safe. I want to take things that I may need, my medication or maybe some Benadryl, this, that, some stop the bleeding kind of stuff. So I don't lay there and bleed out too. But I'm just like, I don't know. You could probably like give us a good recommendation. What do you think? I mean, what would you recommend a hiker?
Just something that you can stop bleeding. That's the big thing. Always take Benadryl because any kind of allergic reaction that you might have, take not just one, but like take 2. They're 25 milligram tablets. Take 2 of them because that's going to help with any kind of allergic reaction. But the reality of it is you're not going to be able to do much about other things.
No.
It just kind of is what it is. That being said, I always carry an EpiPen and I carry a bottle of nitro. And that's not necessarily for myself, although it is if I need it. But Chris. It's also for the fact that I hike with some guys that are around my age and older. And, we all think we're still 19, 20 years old. But you go up some of these hills and it's inevitable. Sometimes somebody somewhere is going to have some angina or God help them, actually an MI. And a nitro or 2 could literally save their life until somebody could get there. And then the flip side of that with the EpiPen, an allergic reaction can kill you.
Yeah. I do bring aspirin for that very reason. Not necessarily nitro, but aspirin that I can chew.
Tony says, I see an opportunity for a good class for the meetup in May. And that might be something good. Bring your first aid kit and bring it to Keith and say, hey, what do you think? Is some of this BS?
That's a great idea.
Is some of this like BS stuff? I mean,
have him evaluate it.
Well, I know.
And a lot of it is, it's kind of like fishing lures. They're designed to catch the fisherman, not the fish.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff you see these guys with these big elaborate kits, you're like, wow, that's everything. I know as just a regular person with no medical training, how to use about 25% of that correctly. So I bring Band-Aids, gauze, some Leukotape in case I get a hot spot on my foot, and just a few medications, Benadryl,
Hazel for your hemorrhoid.
Yeah, I mean, no, Body Glide, dude. That I'm telling you right there. I use it on the AT. Beauty. And you've been with me.
Chafing?
You've seen me when I suffer some chafing on the Tecumseh Trail. I was miserable.
Oh, yeah.
But just general stuff, I know how to use it, and I've tried before. I get migraines, so I take prescription medication for that. I carry that with me because you guys have both seen me get laid out with a migraine before too. But yeah,
Brian, it's all about comfort level.
Yeah.
How much do you feel like you've got to take to be comfortable when you're that far out in the woods?
Yeah.
Myself, when I was your guys' age, and it was long enough ago that we didn't have cell phones and things. When we went up, in the Smokies up on the AT, unless somebody could run for help.
Yeah.
So nowadays, it's a lot easier because you have that ability to get help pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, the inReach, if you.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I made sure I stayed in a campground, even in the van, that I had, I had cell reception.
Sure.
But man, in Indiana, there are so many places like Shirley Creek, the trailhead at Shirley Creek.
Oh yeah, there's nothing.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
It's like might as well be Nashville.
Well, I put out a video. I think I went to 4 or 5 places looking for a campsite for OpenEye before I found something that actually had cell service. I got home, I ordered the inReach.
Yeah.
So not to derail this conversation or take it in a different direction, but I'm going to derail it and take it a different direction. So Keith, the maker of your hammock is in the chat.
All right. Jeremy.
Jeremy is in the chat. So I will give you this opportunity to tell him what you thought of his creation.
The Cloud 71. Dude, it is great. If I could beg you, make me one with a bug net.
I knew that was coming.
I told Chris, I'm laying there in it and I'm just having a blast. I'm like, God, if you just take this material and just roll it up over and just put me a zipper right here. Oh my God. Jeremy, dude, I will be ever indebted to you if you will make me one of those. And I tell you what, it's hard, dude. It is hard. I know that.
Yeah.
But you have some great potential there. This thing, it is so light, and it was comfortable as it can be. I slept in it one night, and I slept in my Raven one night. And I thought, well, the Raven's wider, so maybe it's not going to be so bad on my knees. There wasn't much difference at all in the sleep between the two. So if he can make it a little wider, put a bug net on it, I think you could sell as many thousand as you wanted, dude.
So he and I actually talked about this on the phone because we've been planning this trip that's coming up. And I told him, I said, I know because of how that material comes, you can't necessarily make it any wider because of the roll that it comes on. So in order for him to make it wider, he would have to have a seam in it. And that, there's the integrity of that's just not going to be that great. So that's why he can't make it wider. But the bug net thing, yeah.
What's he saying? Is he like getting ready to kill me?
No, it says I feel like
it's go ahead, Chris.
Here. Yeah, I'll just show it. There it is.
I'm never gonna get it.
I'm excited because you guys have both tried yours out, and this weekend I am going on a little backpacking trip with Hooks and Hammocks, and I get to finally try mine out. It's this little bitty YouTube.
Is that a fishing channel? I've heard about it.
Yeah, like the guy tries to fish, and then he's got his wife there, and she's an expert professional fisherman, and she's an exceptional backpacker. He just sucks. But I'm going to take them out and teach him how to backpack this weekend, and I get to try.
Man, please record all you can. I need more material. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I need more material to pick on him about.
I'll get you some. But yeah, I'm excited, Jeremy, to get mine.
I'm his Michael Peterson,
Oh, yes, definitely. It'll be a good time. But we're
okay, cool. So back to your question. Sorry.
I'm out.
Really?
So it seems to me you started out camping with your buddies, backpacking with your buddies, hammock camping, tent camping, stuff like that. And lately, has it been 2 years ago, you started with the Astrovan? Is that correct? About
Yep.
2 years ago, something like that, building the Astrovan, and then you've moved on to your bigger van now. So how's the van build going now, the one you're currently in? How are we in the progression of that? How far?
We're doing pretty good. Can I touch base on why I've branched over to the van?
Yeah.
I wanted something that I could do and go further to more places. And as I'm getting older, being able to stay on the trail or go further out onto a trail is getting a little more difficult. I still like to do it. I still want to go. I still, I would love to go on the Chateau or the AT, but the reality of it is a titanium knee, and I'm getting older. And so I thought these vans, oh my God. And it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's warm. It's quiet. It's got everything you've got.
Is it warm? Do you have a diesel heater?
Oh yeah.
Keith always reminds us when we're all freezing.
Got a
diesel
diesel
van,
heater.
it's warm. I got a diesel heater.
So where I'm at on the progression of this, I got it to a point where it's really usable, and I've kind of slowed back on it. I acquired my uncle's Tundra.
Yep.
Well, that opened up a new trail, right? So I started doing with the Tundra and stuff. And I don't know if you saw my last video I put out, but I actually got this little tent that goes on the back of my SUV. And when we came up to meet Chris and Hoot and Ross this weekend, gas is so expensive. Oh my God. I've never been able to use the SUV because I couldn't lay down in it. I'm too tall. Yeah. Well, with this tent on there, on the back of it, Lord, I literally could pay for half of the tent on the gas savings I made driving up to the Deem.
Which is cool. Yeah.
And it was nice. I'm not trying to, make a commercial farm right now or anything, but my point being is I like to try different things. I'm real bad about burnout. I'll be in the van and hot and heavy for months. What? Yeah, hot and heavy, dude, for months. And then I may start kayaking again, and I'll do more kayaking for a while, and fishing. I even have a Honda 750 or not 750 Honda 250 scooter, and I did a few videos with it. It's like I said earlier. I can't sit on the couch. I just can't do it.
No, that's the nice thing. I mean, it's a lot of times you'll pull in the van, and you don't really have to set up anything. You might put your awning up or whatever, but the tear down and setup on that is so quick. And like you said, you've got everything in there. If the weather's bad, it's cold, you go inside and you cook, and you usually peek your head out the window and laugh at us and ha ha ha, I'm warm and you guys are cold. And
I got and Opes with me,
Yeah.
Right.
I see you as having concentric circles of how far you can go, like based on what type of camping you're doing. Like, you got, and the SUV is like way out there because of gas. And then say, the Tundra might be next because of where it will go. And then like the van would be another circle. And
well, I couldn't go overlanding with you guys. We went to Rattlesnake that time. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If Wayne hadn't found the back way out, hell, I may have still be there, because man, it rained horrible. So whenever I got that 4-wheel drive Tundra, that really opened up some things. Now I'll be able to go with you guys when you're going back a little further off trail.
Oh yeah.
That the van can't go. And that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to experience, I'm getting to the point in my life where I have put things off and worked and worked and worked. But that's been one of the reasons I was able to do this van. I said I was a paramedic. Well, on my day off, I worked at my friend's camper shop, and then I ended up buying a camper repair facility. And then as I went part-time on the ambulance, I made that more and more. but I'm to the point now where at the end of July, I'm going to semi-retire.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to close that facility, and I'm just going to do some hit and miss work out of my service van only when I want to.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I'm going to LBL, Land Between the Lakes, this weekend, but I was thinking maybe a fall overlanding trip would be in order.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Let me think. No, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like either maybe the Daniel Boone Byway, we could go down there.
Oh yeah.
Or we could go back to LBL. Fall is that would be an awesome trip, I think. And since I organize everything, I think I can let Brian.
Can I interrupt and ask one question?
If you just go ahead.
Why wait till fall?
Because I feel like Land Between the Lakes in the summer is going to be ridiculous. With people, with heat, and I don't mean late fall. I mean maybe like coming out of summer, just like early fall.
You could even go down in the summer. You could go down to the gorge. There's so many places to go down there.
We could do if Indian Creek is open. We could go down to Indian Creek.
Well, I mean, there's places all over the place. You have to be careful, and I've got a pretty good contact. I could probably, if we're going to get a trip together, ask my buddy. He actually takes like beginners out. He has like an off-highway vehicle school kind of deal where he takes newbies out. But I could ask him like, where's some really mild trails that like my truck would make it, or we could take Keith's or yours, something like that, to where they're more gravel or dirt roads. They're not rock crawling and stuff like that. Because I mean, all of our vehicles are pretty comparable about what they're capable of. I mean, Jeremy's new Bronco, that thing's way more capable than my Tacoma. I don't have lockers, so I mean, he can get out there. Yeah, before the mud season would be good.
Yeah,
right. But I mean, with Jeremy's Bronco, that thing's going to be a beast as he builds on it. But
I'll be getting lots of video of that this weekend. Yeah,
so you're going to have a blast. And I think those things are so sweet, and LBL has some pretty nice trails.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm down. We can get something together this summer. Don't be scared of the heat.
I don't want to ever get him. I don't ever want to get hemmed in on any one thing, though.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, I get it.
That's so many people just get one thing and they backpack, and that's all they do is backpack. And then it gets into the summer, or let's say it gets into the cold of winter, and it's just, man, being diversified, I can get outside anytime I want.
Right.
I've even considered, even though I have no place to put it, purchasing another kayak, which I would look funny on my back balcony, but whatever. But I could attach it to the roof rack and go, so I've actually considered that.
That was one of the best trips I've had. Was I went up to Oak Creek? I can't, up by Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Larry and I went, and it was one of my very, very first times ever in a kayak. Not first, I'm talking ever in a kayak. Yeah. And I had my backpacking stuff stuffed in everywhere. God, it was a blast. It was absolutely fun.
I tell you, I went on a solo trip last year, just at the Deem, over toward the peninsula. I kind of went off, try to get a little out of the main area, but I just threw everything, all my backpacking stuff in my kayak, and kayaked over from Cutright, the boat ramp there. That was a blast. I had a great time.
But we've done.
I'd love to go farther. Yeah, I'd love to go farther around that lake or something and get a kayak, Chris. Come on, you can do it.
I've considered it, and I'm also
like
trying
you said, you'd have.
Well, the nice part is like on Monroe, it's flat water, so you're working hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you go in a moving water. Right. It doesn't have to be fast or anything. Then all you have to do is just keep it straight.
It'd be, if I had one and we all like planned a trip, we could go up to Turkey Run, and
I have to, if you want to go.
Yeah, but I got to check the weight on that. See, a long time ago, I bought one and I was 50 pounds over the weight and couldn't figure out why it kept bottoming out. And that was that Turkey Run. So we'll talk. We'll talk about it. So besides, paramedic, besides your vast experience in the woods and the time that you were a Nepal diamond miner, what else? What else do we as your friends not know about Trailmedic?
I have a passion for fishing. I don't.
What important things do we not know about Trailmedic?
Hey, I'll go fishing with you anytime. We'll leave Chris at home. He's the anti-fisherman. I love to fish.
Yeah. Even Hoot.
Yeah, Hoot loves fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much you guys have talked to Hoot about fishing, but he used to guide on Raccoon Lake.
We did this weekend.
He was the real deal. Still is.
Yep.
Yeah, we did this weekend. He went on. He told us all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know really. I was a volunteer fireman for years, a paid fireman, paramedic. It basically, public service was, in my blood, I guess, so to say.
Yeah.
And but really, there's not a lot.
What's a trip that you want to do this year that you haven't done yet? Like, where's a place, either locally or out of state, that you would love to go? Or have you been everywhere?
Did you stump him or is he frozen?
I did. I see he's thinking.
Having trouble on my end there.
Okay. There, you're back.
There I am. A place that I would like to go.
Yeah.
There are so many, Chris. Are you talking backpacking? Are you talking in the van?
I'm talking whatever venue or whatever classification of outdoors that you would like to do.
Ooh.
I literally could take a month and get in this van and hit all these little places that I've always wanted to see. I would also love to I've got a motorhome as well. That was one of the perks of working on them. You can buy one and fix it up and then buy another one and fix it up. I've done that 4 or 5 times and we now have a fairly nice little motorhome. And my wife and I, that's something that we're really planning on doing, taking a month here, a month there, and hit these places. And of course, I'm getting ready to retire. And what happens? Gasoline goes through the roof.
Sure,
6 miles to the gallon. How in the world can you justify going across country in a motorhome?
Yeah.
That makes
like Smoky Mountains. Would you like to go down there to see Mount Lecant? Would you like to, or Gatlinburg, or
when I grew up in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So I was only about 4 hours away from the Smokies. I've been all over that place.
Have you? Okay.
All over.
Have you been up to the lodge at Lecant?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
very nice though, huh?
It's challenging, but it's really nice at the top. And I've done it 3 times, but I that's like when I ask people that, I'm like, man, I'd like to take somebody for their first time up Rainbow Falls or one of those Smokies trips up there, and just see their reaction when you get to certain places that I know. That would be fun.
You're going to do your 14er this summer.
Yeah.
And you've been on Klingman's Dome, right?
No, I have not.
You've never been up?
No.
I actually got some permits, and Dale and I, for my 30th birthday, because I thought I was getting old, and we climbed the backside of Klingman's Dome, bushwhacked right up it.
Nice.
You told me that, and that was rough, wasn't it?
Tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, it's
a
no joke.
challenge just to walk up the paved path from the parking lot up to it. It's steep. It's steep enough. I don't know how long it was, maybe 1.25 miles or something like that. It's not very far, but it's steep enough. Like every so often they have benches for you to sit down and take breaks because it's.
And that rhododendron that you saw when you were on the AT,
mm-hmm.
we went through a patch of it that my feet never touched the ground for about 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
I can believe it. Some of that stuff gets thick
because it was so thick.
Yeah. Chris, did you see who's in the chat?
I did. My good buddy Hooks and Hammocks.
Hello,
there he
Hooks.
is.
He's so excited to get that robot leg out next weekend.
This weekend, man.
Or this weekend, yeah.
Yeah. He's charging it up right now. He's got it on the charger.
He's working on the bionics.
So I'm going to ask Keith this because he's done this trail, the 2 Lakes Loop down Indian and Salina. So I watched your video just recently, just yesterday, because I'm trying to find out. All Trails says it's 12 miles. I've seen people say it's 14. I've done it before, but I've never tracked the mileage.
15.
And then I see a sign on somebody that just did it last Easter, and it said it was 15 something.
It's 15.
But if you look in Keith's video at the very beginning, he's showing the kiosk, and I looked and I paused it, and it says 12 or like 12.1. What is it?
It does say 12.1.
Right. But and that's what All Trail says.
And I don't know, because when I walked it, we got like almost 14.
When Jen and I did it, we ended up with 15, and I didn't get lost on that one. So
no.
It's a great trail.
The
northern lake, which I think is Indian, you'll have all kinds of water around it.
Yeah.
The other one, it's not so much. You can always bushwhack down to the lake, which is harder than it seems like it would be.
Right. And
get water out of the lake. But
our plan, I've been there before, and I hiked in one time and just a couple miles and camped, and then did, I don't know, whatever mileage it was. We went on the I guess it would be the east side of Indian Lake, the northern lake. And there was a nice like cliff and rock ledge, and we kind of climbed up on that and camped up there, had good views in that. But hooks and hammocks, they've never been, so we're gonna go down there and just get some training, and I'm
excited for them to try out their new stuff. I really am. I really want to hear what they do.
I saw in the chat where Ross said about the service road. That used to be a trail that went through there where you could go around one lake or the other lake, or even do a figure 8.
It still shows it as a. Did they show it down? Because it still shows it on all trails.
There's all kinds of signs with threatening you with imprisonment and all this crap if you.
Wow.
So I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened, and that's really rare for the Park Service to do that, but they don't want you on that one.
I'll be darned. Well, there's no out, man. We're going all the way around it. But
yeah.
I never thought it was a difficult trail. It's not the official trail.
There's some places where it's around the shoreline. You're doing this a lot, but it's not difficult.
No, it doesn't look like. I don't remember any big hills on it. Yeah.
It's a pretty trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember any big hills or anything on it. So when we
until you get to the end of it, and then it looks like a bomb went off.
Right. That's how it was a couple of years ago when I went. They had a lot of forestry work there, a little logging.
Make sure you use your permethrin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard that's really bad.
It is loaded with chiggers and ticks.
Yep. Always.
Hey,
Stoney's king.
So you got any more questions, or should we turn to the chat for questions?
We can turn to the chat if anybody has any questions.
Harley had one earlier. Harley had one earlier. He said, "Have you ever tried to touch a snake on video?" And I don't.
Yeah, go check out that video. It's called Snake. And there was this right under my hammock, basically 5 feet from my hammock. Mike found this humongous black snake, king snake. This thing was huge, and it was like 50 degrees. So it was cold, and I thought, well, and so I said, well, let's see how big he really is. And about the time I touched him, he struck at me, scared everybody there, including me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife just said, "You're an idiot."
Here's another question from Harley, dude. What do you think about
Bigfoot?
Yeah.
How deep do you want to go?
Well, we had this conversation this weekend. We
did. Personally, is there a Bigfoot? There's a possibility. It's amazing how when you're alone in the woods, and during the day it's not a big deal, and then at night your imagination runs away from you.
Oh, sure.
You would believe more in Bigfoot at night by yourself in the woods than you do during the day sitting at home on your couch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a Bigfoot? There's a possibility. It would be nice to know one way or the other.
I think one time when Carlson and I was out and we had gone to sleep or whatever, and I started hearing this, and I thought, oh my God, he is real. But then it was just Carlson snoring.
Me snoring? Oh yeah. Especially from my hammock, a long day of hiking. I'll rattle the trees, boys.
There's the next question.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, I had to airlift one guy out from a dirt bike accident.
Oh wow.
He smashed, had flailed chest on one side, which is several ribs are broken. It doesn't allow, and we had to airlift him out. So yeah, I've done a couple.
Ohio has the weed.
Is that like Bigfoot, or is that you telling us there's dispensaries in Ohio? Ohio has the weed, man.
Ohio has the weed. Yeah, they made it legal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
All right. Anybody else got any questions for Trailmedic? We are coming up on 45 minutes. We got a little bit of time left, but if you guys have questions, or if any of you guys have any comments, like what's your favorite Trailmedic video that you've watched, or any other. Oh, here's one from Jeremy.
Wow. It's probably that one down in Land Between the Lakes, where it was just Opie and I, and we went way down this gravel road and found this secluded spot right on the edge of Barkley Lake. Dude, It was beautiful.
I've got one like I'll be at one like that on Thursday. But yeah, I those are beautiful. Those lakeside ones where nobody else is around.
And then to kind of iterate on that, I like it in the winter because almost any campsite is nice. You can go to these little state forests that we have down here. Ferdinand.
Oh, Ferdinand was awesome.
That was nice.
Ferdinand's beautiful, but there's nobody got the whole thing to you.
Yeah.
Shelf. Happy 420, Hoot.
Oh yeah.
Blah.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to explain.
Missed it.
That
would take all night to explain that.
Yeah. Trailmedic was the first Indiana channel I started watching. What? It wasn't THG? What?
THG, who's that?
Way to go, Hooks.
He's just kissing butt.
Yeah, Stoney, they got a 3. They have a 3-day and a year. So there's really nothing in between. You can either get a 3-day backcountry permit or a year.
It's only like $10, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
it's
3
only
days?
$10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Bigfoot Paranormal. Been into that stuff all my life. Good.
He
good.
froze calling medic.
Want to do the Tecumseh. Have you navigated the area that is closed? We kind of did. Or we were going to. It's right there around the railroad track at 45. And now you didn't get this from me, but you can kind of still go through it. So you're not supposed to, because the railroad owns that property and they've banned people from going through it. But yeah, no.
I think people still just walk right through it.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. We didn't make it that far. We got we almost got airlifted out.
Right.
Yeah. In the middle of the tornado.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Back to that railroad thing, and a lot of the coal mines are the same way.
Yeah.
If you just show respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just respect things. My God.
Don't.
Well, that's same thing on when Chris and I were on that Tecumseh Trail. I've talked about it. So when we got caught in that bad storm, we were in a private property area. But I mean, what are you going to do in life or death? Whatever, with all the lightning and the high winds and everything, we try to take shelter. And we kind of looked at each other, and I said, I know we're on private property. I said, but let's hang our hammocks, let's get our shelters up, and let's make sure we leave it better than we found it in the morning. And we did. There was not a sign that we were ever there. We respected the owner's property, and we got in and out. So
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Oh, Steven says everyone goes through it on foot and bike. Someone told me. I think that was. I wonder who that was. We didn't care. Stay off the track and you're good.
Yep.
And do you know any underpower? I do. By the way, that was a telephone line. That wasn't actually a
Yeah,
power line.
the lines that we crawled under.
Yeah, we figured that out. Okay, so what else do we have to? What else?
So do you have any big plans this coming year? Any future
Yeah.
plans this year coming up? I mean, I know you're gonna get to see me at the meetup. I mean, that's huge. But
the meetup is the next big one. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then as my work settles down and we get this transition done and I get slowly into semi-retirement, I am going to have more time. For the first time in my life, you know, as a paramedic, you don't get paid much, so you always have second job, third job. And it's worked well for me because it's allowed me to have a whole different career working on campers, which has then allowed me to be able to, you know, build this van. So that's my plan. Get the house, you know, straightened up and everything fixed there, and then continue this build and get the cabinetry in. But that is only if I'm home long enough to do it, because I'm planning on being gone as much as possible.
So we won't see you. You'll just be off on your own little.
Oh no, I'll be saying, Chris, you want to go? Brian, you want to go? Yeah.
We really need a better system, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that feel left out, and I don't think they understand that this vetting system that we have, where we camp with each other and we hike with each other, has been going on for 7 years.
Yeah.
And so it's been going on for a while. And so I want to say this publicly. It's not like we don't want to hike with people that we don't know. That's not true at all. But we have to make sure that you're not going to kill us in our hammock.
Or us kill you because.
Or us kill you. Yeah. Because that goes both ways.
It goes both ways. I mean, there's personalities that get along great, and there's some that, you know, you bump heads with people. And
yeah, if you're thin-skinned, you're not going to make it.
Not with us. Golly, man.
I do get requests like for people to be invited that I don't know yet. Mm-hmm. And I get those quite a bit through email and stuff like that. And the best thing that I've come up with to tell people is that get on to the Outdoor Adventure Life or come to these live streams, get to know us so we know you.
Yeah.
Then we can feel comfortable inviting you. Yeah, the meetup is a perfect place.
That's 2 opportunities a year to come and join with us. Yeah. Take Byron, the guy that bought my Astro van.
Yeah.
Okay. Byron, we met him through the meetup, right? And now he and I camp quite a bit. So,
yeah,
you know, and that was a guy I would have never, ever bumped into him.
Right.
You know, and now there's another hiking partner I have.
Right.
Or camping partner, whatever you want to call it. There's also something I can mention, and it's short notice, but the Hoosier Hang is this weekend.
Right.
And it's at Terrell Pond. And that's a good place to come.
Yep.
And you don't have to have a hammock. You can come and you know, be a big ground dweller.
Right.
I've gone to them in my tent before. It's just a group of people. Thank God I met those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I've got some of the best friends I've ever had in my life that I have met through the Hoosier Hangs.
I mean, there's other ways to do it. Like, we like to meet people organically, and we're not elitist by any means. We are not excluding anybody by any means.
We are not top shelf.
No. But, you know, you can take the way where you show up at a pond unannounced with your daughter, and then you can say, hey, I want to hike and camp with you. You know, you can be all creepy with it. You can go that route.
He's never going to live that down.
No, he's not.
Chris,
I mean,
hey, Chris, in his defense, it worked.
It did work.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. Even though I give him crap, I love the guy. He's a cute little guy.
He's a cute little guy. It's just like when I got into backpacking, I was looking for other people to backpack with and learn and explore different areas. And you had mentioned something, Chris, in one of your videos about the Outdoor Adventure Life. And I'm like, oh, there's a group. So I looked into it, and you were planning a trip. You planned that trip out to the Dean of the Peninsula.
Yeah.
And you invited anybody that wanted to come. And I think I messaged you on or commented, hey, I'm going to try to make it. I showed up at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. I night hiked the whole Peninsula Trail, got out there, and you guys already had the fire. I showed up in the dark, not knowing anybody. I mean, you guys could have killed me, but still.
Look at John Coffey. John Coffey drove 7 hours to the meetup.
Yeah.
From Cleveland, which I would probably drive out of Cleveland too. But he drove 7 hours to meet us. And you know, before this, I just got off the phone with him. We were talking about some stuff. So we're not elitist. We want to be comfortable with you. You want to be comfortable with us. That's what I'm getting at. That's my
Here's
point.
something to think about. Okay. You're already halfway there because you have the same interest.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you wouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. Now, is everybody going to get along? Not necessarily. In these larger groups, like this weekend at the Hoosier Hang, there'll be little cliques. There'll be one big clique, and then, you know, people will be off to the side talking and stuff. Yeah. But it's because like personalities, you know, attract, and it don't ever be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy. And you know, I and I'm not going to take credit for all this because we've all done this, but I started building this community in 2015 with the first outdoor adventure life. And I think it's gone very well because it's been organic. It's not been forced. Right. And I think that's the key to it is you don't want to force things. You just want to get to know people, and you want to, you know, you just want to spend some time in the woods with them. That sounded bad, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're getting weird now.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it's like we're talking at the very beginning about asking Keith why did he start a YouTube channel and everything, and what are some of the benefits of having one? And some of my closest friends now I've met through YouTube or through a Facebook group and gone out and met them. And I'm not really shy. I guess I'm kind of an introvert until I get to know you. Then I'll just drive you crazy. But that was the one thing with like the little section hike. Even I had a choice. I could start because I'm not trying to do the whole thing. I could do it whenever. I could have waited later till the bubble was gone. I could have started earlier. I started dead smack in the middle of the bubble, the busiest time of the year, to get that experience of just meeting all those new people. Because I know, even though that's not my comfort zone, if I don't know somebody, it's getting out there. I met some of the coolest people, and they still give me updates. I follow them on Instagram, their YouTube channels, texting me, you know, whatever it is. And it's so neat. Like, I've met those people that are on that journey, and I get to watch them. And it's the same way with backpacking and YouTube. I've met some really incredible people, and I've got some really incredible experiences with them.
How many of those people did you try to sell extended warranties to?
Just a couple. Not enough to retire or to through hike.
So that was a great intro, man.
That's me.
And look at all the people. Look at all the people in the chat. 90%, well, probably all of them, except for a couple, might be people that we have personally met, right, and that we personally know. And all of them, even Hooks, is cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool.
Even him.
Yeah.
So
everybody has good.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yep. Let's get all philosophical.
Yeah, I mean, you scroll through the chat.
They gotta have a good gene, or they wouldn't want to be out in the woods, you know?
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, let's just face it.
Let's see. Let's see what Steven. All the us are watching Bill and then oh yeah. He met Carlson in the woods, which, you know, I still
never know.
That's still
proof that I do get out in the woods. No, that was funny when I met Steven, because it couldn't have been raining any harder, and I'm just walking with my head down, and I come around a corner, and there's a straightaway, and here come this guy. I'm like, well, he's as crazy as I am, because I mean, it was just getting after it. And I looked up at him, and he looked at me. He's like, "Hey, I recognize you." And he took a second. He's like, "Carlson, right?" I was like, "Yep." That was one of the first times I'd actually been recognized from my YouTube channel, because I don't know. That was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. But
first time I met Chris, I was hiking with Steve Mule, and going along, and you know, he says, "Hey," and
Jason.
The rest of the weekend, I'm with a celebrity.
Yeah.
I've gotten recognized out there a couple of times. I've been with John Anderson both times. He's like, "I am tired of this." So, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up. Keith, do you have any final old man's wisdom to bestow upon the younger folks in here?
Get off the couch.
Get off the couch.
Yep. Don't feed the couch monster.
It doesn't matter if in a tent, hammock, van, SUV, hiking, bicycling. Who cares? Just get out. Get out.
Good advice.
Sage advice.
Sage advice. Words of wisdom.
Brian, do you have any sage advice?
I'm not old enough yet. I'll leave that for you guys, you old guys. I'm still young.
Well, mine would be get out there and explore. See what I did there? Come on.
Do you notice I've been stealing that lately? Just that.
Is now when I say later.
I might steal that one every once in a while. I've been playing out his. I just steal his just to aggravate him.
Because you don't have one of your own.
Or a trail name.
I don't have a trail name either.
We're going to work on that.
I have some that we can't repeat. We could repeat, but it's not polite or PG.
I've given you a couple of those.
Yeah. Yep. They don't stick.
We talked about a couple of them this weekend.
For me?
Oh, yeah. You weren't there to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I figured. I wasn't there to defend myself. It was probably the curse words were probably flying toward me. Can imagine.
Oh, no. Well, anyway, thank you, Keith, for joining us, and thank you for providing your guidance to us, and for all the many things that you do to promote the outdoors. We're honestly, we enjoy it.
All kidding aside, thanks for having me on. Yeah. I always enjoy going hiking with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And to all of you out there that are still listening, come on out to that meetup. It's a lot of fun.
Yep, you guys will have a blast.
Let me throw that up there real quick. There it is.
Hooks retracted it. He said Pro State Explorer. I'm not. I mean, you guys can give me that trail name, and I can deny it. That's one thing I learned about trail names too. Is you don't have to accept them.
You mean I don't have to be Prairie Dog? Well, I didn't know about.
No, you have to. I mean, I don't have to accept them.
Oh, I see.
You have to be Prairie Dog.
No, I know.
No, I know.
There it is. There it is. Finally.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. And thank you, everybody in the chat. Yep. And we'll see you later. Get out there and explore, leave later and found, and later.
Later.